Now, spring is nearly here, so we need to know what's on trend for spring hair. Trudy, good morning.
Good morning.
Always nice to have you in with all the trends, what's happening. So, spring hair, I mean, what is hot for spring?
Look, I hate to say it, but the bob is back.
Why do you hate it? I'm a big fan of the bob.
I know, but everyone's like something new. But this bob is 70s inspired, and it's a little bit blunter than we've seen.
See, I love that. That's my next haircut.
Yeah. So less layering with this one, so it's a bit blunter, so you can get a blunt edge. Also curls, movement, texture, you know, and that is probably the biggest change. And if you don't have them, you can create them with a clever tool that I've brought in. And also hair mousse, but not the 80s mousse that we used to use.
You mean the stuff that would stick and make your hair all...
Make hair crunchy.
You almost break strands off when you used it.
No, it's really hydrating. Some of them have even got SPFs in them, so they're really great for summer.
So that cut, the bob, that's obviously the thing that's in. Is it a certain length or is it anything?
It's a little bit longer, which is nice. And like I said, 70s inspired. And you know 70s fashion is in at the moment, and hair sort of follows that. And you only have to look at celebrities to see that that trend is back. But it's also, I think the biggest change, and I was talking to a stylist at Fashion Week the other day, is that he said individualism is what's really cool with hair these days, and working with the texture of your hair to create a look that's right for you, rather than fighting with it all the time. And I think, you know, having a bob that's got less layering in it, if your hair is fine, is a good thing. If it's thick, you might want a little bit of layering, and you can still straighten it and still wear it curly.
I need a little bit of layering mine, otherwise it's just like a mushroom.
Yeah, particularly around the bottom, I think then you don't want it to look really clumpy.
But I think also to a certain extent, I've always worked with hair. Like, I've never really followed fashion in hair. I've been with what works with my hair.
Oh,
like
you're an early adopter.
Was I? Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
I always say that. I always say, you know, there's no point getting up every morning and spending 45 minutes doing your hair and it never looking like you want it to look.
Exactly. It doesn't look like that picture in the magazine.
I think that's really awful. It sets us up to fail. And I think that's why the stylist said to me that individualism is what's really... Because diversity at the moment is the thing that we're all talking about, and everyone's hair's different.
I like it. What about colours? What's hot for spring colours?
Colour is a little bit 80s too. I don't know whether you remember the 80s with that sort of melon streak with that little lighter bit around the face, this is a really good example of it.
I had a teacher who had one of those.
Yeah, well, that's really on trend again, and I like it. And less of the placement with highlights, you know, the sort of methodical placement with foils. Hairdressers are hand painting on colour to accentuate that texture and movement. So it might be if you've got curly hair. This is a really cool new colour. It's called amber slate. So it's a mix between a copper and a blonde. It's sort of replacing that honey blonde.
Nice.
And really good with regrowth. I think colour is not so formulaic. I mean, it's a little bit more about really highlighting the natural texture in your hair, painting on colour where you want your hair to have soft movement and definition.
So what sort of products do we need?
I always think summer is a time to boost some hydration in your hair. You know, making sure that your hair is well hydrated is the first thing to getting a really good look, especially with frizz. I mean, I know it's still cold at the moment, but it's 100% humidity.
Yeah. And
Auckland is here. I mean, the rest of the country are lucky. Auckland is here, is frizzy, you know. So I think if your hair is hydrated, it's less frizzy. So hydrating masks and gels and leave-in conditioning treatments that nourish the hair.
Okay, well, there's some things. What about the hot tools?
Well, there's some really cool hot tools, and the latest one that I brought in is just, it's like, you know, it's new.
Actually, let's look at the tools, shall we? Because I've been dying to have a look at this.
Like, it's blowing up on Instagram. It's the Dyson.
Model this.
So it's called the Air Wrap, and it uses this clever technology called Canada effect, where the movement of the hair actually draws the hair onto the barrel and wraps it around it and creates...
So you hold it like that and
you hold it like that and it basically just wraps it around. I had a lesson yesterday because I thought, oh, I'm going to have to actually work out how to use this. But you use it on damp hair.
Ooh.
So your hair is damp. There's lots of different attachments. There's lots of cool little brushes for hot brushing. And you just put the really easy to use. I know, they're so easy to use. I think a lot of people think Dyson's a difficult beast to navigate, but it's not. So your hair is damp, about 20% dry, with moisture in it, and you can actually style your hair.
That is
I actually had mine styled yesterday with it and slept on it overnight, and it's still looking great.
How much though? Because there's so many goodies in here. I would be really keen to get one, but how much is that going to set me back?
$8.99.
Okay, so it's a huge investment.
But you know what? If you're having a great hair day, then it's like money can't buy that, you know. And if you The fact that you can use it from wet to dry, I think is
Okay.
a great. It actually replaces that hairdressing step
Right.
of having to blow dry as well.
Let's talk
And there's a
products.
cool hair dryer as well with a couple of different attachments. Only 150 degrees heat too, which is great.
That's
Doesn't
good. Won't
damage the
ruin
hair.
hair.
So I bought in this Moroccan oil one because they've been doing great things with mousse. They've actually got 4 mousses, and that one creates beach waves. So you get that beautiful
nice.
beachy wave. So you can put it through and leave it in damp. And as I said, it's got UV protectors, protects your colour fading.
Oh, that's
which
good.
I think is really good because you've spent your $300 on your colour and then it fades. And this Hask Moni and coconut oil is great too. It's a nourishing leave-in conditioner that I was talking to you about earlier. This one's available at the supermarket
Oh,
too,
you
which
just
is
put that
great.
one in.
You just leave it in the hair, put it in damp, leave it in the hair, style your hair. No,
Damp.
you can put it in dry at the ends too. I use it damp or dry.
Oh, nice. It smells beautiful.
Yeah, and you just put it through and you can style your hair, and it actually, like I said before, it nourishes the hair and keeps it smooth. And
Awesome. Hey,
gorgeous.
thank you, Trudy, for coming in today.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Now, for more from Trudy, you can head to her website, beautyeq.co.nz.